Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities. Here we offer you. We gon' show you on your way. The content it never strays. We're positive and uplifting. Once a week the scope gifted. There's zero from fake. Hydration like Boucher.
What is up, everyone? I hope you all are doing well. Something was puzzling me, so you have to let me know when you guys get in here whether or not you hear me, you hear an echo or you hear me doubly. Please let me know because it was weird. There's a new feature that I'm trying to use, and of course, I tested it and it worked fine, but right now it doesn't seem to be working fine. What's up, everyone? Oh, we've got a what is up, Natasha Unique. She says, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, Natasha. Let me know. Do you hear an echo or do I sound fine? Let me know. Oh, and you know what? Hold on. Let me make sure that I should sound much, okay, you can hear me. So I should sound much better now, but do you hear an echo? I heard an echo never mind. So if you don't hear it, guess what? I don't hear it either. It's fine for me. Happy Friday to you, my dear. I hope all is well. It is fantastic to see you. And you can hear me. That's fantastic. So we are waiting for people to kind of come in to the stream. And as we're waiting, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and get started. Okay, you don't hear it. Perfect. That was just me then, I guess. I don't know what that was about, but as long as you don't hear it, I am glad. This is MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. We are here on Fridays, usually somewhere in the 8 o'clock hour, because we have stuff going on Indie Soup Media. Even though we're on break, still have stuff going on. And so we come on somewhere between 8, like an 8:30, 8:45-ish. As soon as I can get on, I come on. And we are in all these places. Oh, you know what's happening? I am freezing. It looks like I'm freezing, and I think I know why. I think I have like too much open. I think that's what that is. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and close that. That should help. All sorts of technical things going on. Anyway, this is MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. We are here on Fridays around 8-ish on YouTube, Facebook, sometimes Instagram, but we're not going to do that anymore, so I probably need to take that out. LinkedIn and Twitch, Thursdays. If you are in the Caribbean, you have the good fortune to be able to hear us on Gospel 107.1 FM in Nassau, Bahamas, and the rest of the Caribbean. Guess what? I wish you a multitude of blessings. And it's actually been about 2 weeks since I've been on here, so it is what it is. Oh, and she says she loves the glasses. Thank you. Thank you. You know, accessories are my thing. Hats and accessories, they can make any, because I'm just I've t-shirted up today, but you can elevate your wares by having a cool hat and some accessories. And I did demure earrings today. So it is what it is. And the glasses, the glasses. Absolutely. So you know about elevating. How are things in the 313? I think you're in Detroit, aren't you? How are things going over there? Let me know. And you know what? I have to give you a hug to let you know that I appreciate you being here. You could choose to be anyplace else. You chose to be here with me. I love you for that. And in addition to all these other things, if you happen to be watching on YouTube, guess what I would love? If you liked and subscribed, it would be so cool. And hit the notification bell, because then you know when I go live. And, I try to go live at some semblance of on time, but you know me. So in any case, I hope that this information is good for you and that you have a good time today. If you happen to be new here, let's take a look. Oh, warm today. Okay, so what is warm for Detroit? Let me know. Although I did see that you were going to get some warmer weather like in the Northeast, and you're basically Midwest, but North Midwest. So let me know what that is. Today was 80 degrees here. Oh, I'm glad you got your hug and that you needed. Yay, yay, yay. All right. So let's take a look at what we're going to talk about today. In fact, we'll just get right into it, right? We're going to go ahead and start with our media section right after this. Here we go. All right. So, media. But before we get to media, this is kind of media. I'm doing something new today. We now have the opportunity to stream twice, two times on YouTube at the same time, concurrently. Let me explain what's happening. You now have the opportunity to stream in both the widescreen. So I don't know if you're watching me widescreen or you're watching me portrait, like you're looking on your phone. So you could watch this way or you can watch this way, which is actually pretty cool. So that's the new thing. And that's probably what's giving me the double echo. Okay. But as long as you don't hear it, I don't hear it either. So that's okay. So welcome if you do happen to be watching me vertically. Welcome if you happen to be watching me horizontally. I'm super happy either way. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with our first story. Let me go ahead and put up the first photo. Do we have it? Okay, this is so weird. I don't know what happened. They've all disappeared. Where are my... This is crazy. Okay, so this is what happens when you play with... there we go. There we go. Okay, they are here. Okay, so found them. Let's talk a little bit about Disney, shall we? We've got some Disney news happening, and this is what's happening over there. First of all, they're looking to increase content spending by about 1 billion next year. A whole $1 billion. Really, Disney? What? Let me take this down so you can see my disbelief. What? Yes, they're looking to increase spending at Disney by $1 billion, billion with a B. So they expect to spend about $24 billion on content in fiscal year 2026. Now that's an increase from this year because they spent $23 billion. Now it's interesting because we know there have been cuts all over the media industry, cuts all over the place, but in the media industry, we've seen lots of cuts. So it's interesting to me that they're choosing to spend $1 billion extra on this. So, okay. So this is what Bob Iger, who is the CEO of Disney, said. We expect to invest approximately $24 billion in content across entertainment and sports in fiscal year 2026, an increase of $1 billion, as I told you all. This is compared to the prior year, which was $23 billion. So what they're looking to do is also invest in high quality sports content at ESPN and new and existing franchises at the film studios and television content, which he says all will support our integrated businesses, including our direct to consumer services. Raise your hand if this makes a difference for you. Do you subscribe to Disney Plus or ESPN or Hulu or anything that is Disney? Do you have a subscription? And if so, are you looking for more content from them? Like, are you on the verge of canceling because there's really nothing for you to watch? Or are you looking for, you know what, I'll stick beside them, but I want to see some more content? If that's you, you possibly could be getting some new content with whatever you subscribe to that is Disney laden. Let's take a look at the content. So here we go. Natasha says yes. So yes, you are, I'm guessing. She says, my daughter subscribes to Disney and Hulu. Okay, yeah, Disney and Hulu. Now, I think you all know me by now. I like what I have. I'm not spending money on anything else. So for someone like me, a consumer like me, you're going to be hard pressed. And you know, I say this all the time. You are going to be hard pressed to get me to actually subscribe to something new. It's probably not going to happen, right? It is what it is. But for some of you, yes. So this could be a welcome change. And that is actually what is happening over there. And they've also experienced exponential subscriber growth as well. Let me see if I can see this. So, well, let me talk about the direct to consumer revenue rose by 8% in this quarter to last quarter rather, to 6.2 billion. Interesting. And their operating income rose 39% to make their operating income $352 million. Okay, well, somebody's not suffering, clearly. Anyway, So they also, as I said, experienced subscriber growth. And we'll see what's what. I'm looking to see if I can find the exact numbers. So, and yeah, as of October, so in July of this year, they were at 127 million subscribers, 127.8 million subscribers. They are now at 131.6 million. So that's a pretty nice jump, right? So that's for Disney Plus. But Hulu also experienced subscriber growth. They jumped from 55.5 million in July to 64.1 million in October. So they are experiencing growth. And I guess because of that growth, they're trying to keep people around. And they said, we're going to spend 1 billion more in money on content. Fantastic. So Natasha says that means they're going to go up on subscription rate. Yeah, you're not lying. You're not lying. That's probably going to happen. When you see things like this, remember, these are all publicly traded companies and they want to keep investors happy. So whenever you can get some dividends, they're going to be happy about that. And that's usually when jobs are, usually if they cut jobs, which it means they're cutting expenses, investors are happy because that means more money for them. If they're doing things to, if they're retaining and increasing subscribers, they're happy. If they raise the price of subscriptions, they're happy because at the end of the day, that means more money. So let's see. Natasha also says there are shows on Hulu that are so good. Well, let me know what it is that you love on Hulu. I'd love to know. Again, I don't have it, so I don't watch. What I think is it The Bear on Hulu, that cooking show? Or am I wrong? Is that Apple TV Plus? I can't remember, but let me know what you watch on Hulu. I would love to know. All right, let's keep going. We've got more stories in store to talk about. We may get through pretty quickly tonight because I don't want to keep you all night. So, Reasonable Doubt. Now, I've heard that is really, really good. Really good. So, yeah, maybe I'll try and get a free. I don't think they're doing too many more free trials and things. So, but if I can get something, I'll take a look at Reasonable Doubt. Yeah, let's see. And without any hope, maybe it'll come on Netflix. I doubt that, but anyway. And she says it is. Well, good, 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 good. All right, let's do this. Let us move on to the next piece of media news that we have. Here we go. Oh, look at this. All right. Do you guys know who this is? If you don't, let me explain. He is Tom Ford. You all know I adore fashion. And because I adore fashion, I know a lot of designers by name. Now, Tom Ford no longer owns his company. He sold it to now. I don't know. It's not LVMH. I don't remember who owns Tom Ford right now. Maybe somebody could look it up, but he sold his company a little while ago, but it still has his name. It is still Tom Ford. Well, guess what? Tom Ford is also a filmmaker. In case you didn't know, yes, Tom Ford is also a filmmaker, and he's got something on tap. He's going to direct Cry to Heaven. It's a drama, and Adele is going to star in it. This is going to be her acting debut. That's pretty exciting if you are a Tom Ford or an Adele fan. Let me know if you're a fan of either one in the chat. That would be cool to know. All right, so it's a new film in the works. It is an adaptation of the Anne Rice novel, Cry to Heaven, and he's going to direct and produce it. Tom Ford, that is. But he also wrote the screenplay. Who knew he had all of this talent outside of design? So I guess that's why he sold the company, because he wanted to take on more projects like this. So he wrote the screenplay, and it has a star-studded cast. Let me tell you some of the people that are in it. Of course, Adele, she's making her acting debut. Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Colin Firth. I always say that wrong. Colin Firth, Paul Bettany, and Owen Cooper. So we've got also Tandiwe, she goes by now. Newton is in it as well, Daryl McCormick, and quite a few others. So let me tell you a little bit about this. According to the Hollywood Reporter, it's a novel that centers on a Venetian noble and maestro castrato, and they're both attempting to succeed in the opera world. All right, which makes sense because Adele can actually sing. Now, I don't know if she ever does operatic type singing, but she's got a very strong and very beautiful voice. All right, so it's called Cry to Heaven. That should be rolling out soon. They don't have they have for fall of next year. Autumn 2026 is when it's scheduled to be released. So let me know if you are interested in seeing that. And Natasha says, wow, nice. And she did not know that. Yeah, he is an amazing designer, obviously. Make shoes that don't make any sense. They look beautiful, but they don't feel good. So, but everybody loves, Tom Ford. And Tom Ford, let me tell you, I'm a fragrance girly. I love a good fragrance. And Tom Ford makes some good fragrances. So that's actually how I started to become familiar with him, through fragrance first. And they're not cheap, but, there are ways to get the similar inspired by scents without, spending the price, Hey, Dr. LaFera, how are you? Welcome in. She is on the Facebook side. Thank you for saying you like the specs, and this is the thing. They're not prescription. They're just fun. They're just for style. That's it. But, it is what it is. But thank you so much. And thank you for being here. Natasha's laughing. Thank you so much for the laughter. We love laughter here. Let me take a minute to say welcome in if you're just coming in. My name is Tachi. I didn't tell you my name before, did I? That's okay. That's what we're going to do right now. My name is Tachi. I'm a media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also a journalist, and I'm all things media, tech, and pop culture. And I notice if you're watching this on YouTube and it's vertical, when I do this, it kind of cuts me off. So sorry. I may have to frame myself for that better next time. But now that I know what this does, we are here on Fridays in the 8 o'clock hour on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Well, no, we don't do Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitch. At some point, I'm going to see if I can add in TikTok. I can go live on TikTok, but I'm trying to do it from here. What's not happening anymore? What will not happen going forward in 2026, in the year of our Lord, is try to do things on separate platforms all the time. I need for everybody to have an open API so that I could use my encoder and go live to every place at one time. That's what I need. Everywhere where I could go live, this is what I need you to do, because no longer do I have the wherewithal to go live to 10 million places separately. It won't happen. So we'll see about TikTok. I might just have to do it separately for a while if I feel the need to. And if you happen to be over on YouTube, do us a solid and like and subscribe. All right, let's see what the fam is saying. LaFera says she's good, wearing stylish non-prescription glasses as well. Yeah, right. That's the thing to do. They have, and you could get some beautiful ones for fairly inexpensively. And these are actually a dupe for a designer pair. I don't know. I only seen them on one person before, and I did a reverse lens of Google Lens, and I said, "Oh, you want how much?" I know I can find a dupe, and sure enough, I did, and they look almost exactly like the designer pair. So I feel good. All right, and Natasha says that would be awesome. Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let's head on to the next piece of our evening. We're going to talk more about media. We have a lot of media stories today. Let's look at this. Oh, it's Labubu. And did you know that Labubu is in early development for a movie at Sony? So I showed you, I think, and I forgot to bring them here to my seat, but I have like 2 Labubus, actually 3. My sister lives in Asia. And here's the thing. Initially, we thought that this was Max from Where the Wild Things Are. Remember that book, Where the Wild Things Are? So we thought, oh, look, it's Max from Where the Wild Things Are, which is why, we got them. But I was like, I don't think this is Max. And then we found out it was Labubu, and it's a huge craze. Pop Mart is the store that does it. I think Pop Mart is a Chinese store, but it's all over Asia. I think they have a Pop Mart in New York. They may have one in LA, but these things are all the rage. Well, far be it from media not to jump on opportunity, because there will be a Labubu movie, folks. Let's talk a little bit about it. It's in development right now. Deadline Hollywood confirmed that a movie based on the Labubu doll is in early stages at Sony. So Sony acquired the film rights to the Chinese doll. There are no creative attachments, meaning no director, nothing, no voice actors or whatever it's going to be at this point. And they haven't made any decisions either as to whether or not it's going to be animated or live action, right? And the studio had no comment, of course. So let me tell you a little bit about Labubu if you don't know. They were created by Hong Kong native and European-based designer Ka-Sing Lung in 2015. And they were the Chinese retailer Pop Mart took over manufacturing them over time and then began selling them in 2015. So again, they were popular in East and Southeast Asia first, and then it made its way over to the US because wow, why can't I remember the name of that K-pop group? I can't remember, but you probably know, it will come to me. But there's a really popular K-pop group, and one of the singers in the group had the Labubu doll as like kind of a purse charm on her bag. Well, it took off, right? All you need is that one person to make your product visible, and it took off. So yes, this is it. Blackpink. I remember now. So the one of the singers from the K-pop group Blackpink had it. Lisa is her name. And yeah, you can even you can have clothes for them. They sell clothes and accessories, and yeah, very interesting. So I don't know if you all have children, but let me know if they are into Labubu or not. Let's see. So LaFera says, how much is exactly what I look for too? Exactly. Why spend extra if there is no need to spend extra? I'm just saying. He looks like a yellow Sonic. Are they related? No, no, no. They're not related at all. I could see the teeth. Yeah. No, they are completely different. It's from a story that was created, and these are the characters. They're like little monsters, basically, and they just took off. So good for them and good for him. And I've got my too. But you know what? They're not leaving the house because I'm not trying to be ambushed for Labubu. They'll stay right here. Hey, and Anthony Davis is joining us over on the Facebook side. How are you, my friend? It is wonderful to see you. Welcome. And he says, what do I think about pennies being officially taken out of circulation? I just saw that. You know, here's the thing. We are a very we still do it. We do electronic, but we're a very cash dependent society, way more than a lot of others. We're just talking about Asia now. Now, when you go to China, barely any cash, right? Everything is really electronic. So I think it's well past the time to kind of take these things out of circulation, to be honest. It follows that we have to adjust the way we think about things and payments, because there cannot be any and such sense, because we don't have pennies to do it. And what's not going to happen is I'm not giving you extra because we don't have the currency to do it, right? So I'm wondering if this is really a way to move us more toward a cashless society so that we're not as cash dependent. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's good to have a little bit of cash. I have at least, let me not lie, I have at least $3 at all times. I can't say I'm I have a stash of cash at all times, because I don't, because I'm like, well, I'll just, pay electronically or whatever. But it is good if you need to have a few dollars on you. Right. But I think maybe they're trying to move away from that. So let me know what you all think. So Anthony brought up the fact that they are taking the penny officially out of circulation. I don't know what that rollout is going to look like. how do you, so it's going to be nostalgic, so keep your pennies. I actually have quite a bit. Or if you have a lot of pennies, you might right now want to go to the bank and exchange that whole water jug full of pennies for cash, because soon they're not going to be in circulation. So let's see this. So that's what I think. What do you think, Anthony? And what do the rest of you think? Oh, my baby is into them, into Labubu. She'll be 7 next month. Really? She's going to be 7? Wow. So tell her I'm into Labubus as well. Interesting. And Dr. LaFera says the pennies didn't make much sense. They cost too much to make. Right. They cost more to make than they were actually worth. So at this point, and then, we think about the copper. Well, most contemporary pennies don't have as much copper as older ones do. So here's a trick, speaking of pennies. So I'm definitely going to have to save some. Copper is antibacterial, right? And it has energy and all of that. So if you want to keep flowers fresh for a longer time, well, number one, you make sure you cut them slanted, or not horizontally, but on a diagonal. That's it. Cut them on a diagonal. Put them in cold water. I always keep ice cubes in the water and make sure that the water is cold when you put your flowers in. And at the bottom of that cold water, I always put a penny, because that makes your flowers last longer, because it kills the bacteria that gather in the water. And then, I change the water every 2 days, right? Make sure that it stays fresh. And my flowers last pretty long. So if you can't spend them, save a few for your fresh flowers. All right. So Dr. LaFera says they'll allow the use of them. They're just not making any more. Yeah, I know they're not going to completely take them out of circulation. They just won't be making any more. But, hang on to them, because at a point, it is what it is. So good evening, Soror. How are you? Joan Balcom is here. How is it going? It is wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Wonderful. All right. They're still working out the kinks in StreamYard with the comment thing I see. So, but I'm glad to have this opportunity to go live vertically and horizontally. That's actually kind of cool. Welcome, Joan Balcom, Joni Red Butterfly. All right. Well, so that's what's happening in Labubu land. Let's keep going. In case you are wondering, let me do a station ID again. You happen to have the good fortune of watching MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. We are here in the 8 o'clock hour on Fridays, and we talk media, tech, pop culture, fun, foolishness, all of that. We love your comments. We love the interaction. So make sure that you interact. That's one thing that makes the show the show. And guess what? Tell all your friends and tell all your frenemies. You don't have to like them. Just tell them to watch us here. And also, this is me. I'm Tachi, media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, and a journalist. I also happen to be the founder of Indie Soup Media. And like and subscribe if you are watching us on the tubing of the U. All right, off of Labubu on to some frou-frou. No, that's not really it. But this is actually cool. Now, I don't know if you are a YouTube watcher like me. I keep telling you all every time that I am a huge YouTube watcher. Okay. So this is actually Julian Shapiro Barnum, and he has a YouTube channel and also puts his stuff on TikTok and on Instagram, and it's called Recess Therapy. Have you ever heard of Recess Therapy? It's really cool. He talks to children about different concepts. So you probably heard the one, it was probably from 2 years ago now. There was a little boy and he loved corn and he was talking about corn so much. That came from Recess Therapy. So there are lots of really cool shows on YouTube and on social media like this. It's not just people dancing. We put a lot of energy into the content that we create, lots of energy. So, take us seriously. And YouTube is taking us seriously. Hold on, we've got a comment. And Anthony says, I remember Canada took their penny out of circulation in 2012, and I'm pretty sure they didn't have any problems doing so. Yeah, well, that's Canada. They're pretty agreeable. For some reason, you know us, somebody here will have some kind of problem, I guarantee. I guarantee somebody is going to have a problem. So, but interesting. Oh, look who is here. D, and I was just thinking about you the other day, and I said I was going to send you a message on LinkedIn to see how you were doing. And lo and behold, my dreams have come true. You've come in, my friend. How are you? Everybody say, welcome to D Carpio. I love YouTube as well. YouTube is just, I can go days without watching traditional linear television, but YouTube, you'd be hard pressed not to. I have to have something on, right? I Music, yes, but I don't know. I need the visual, even if I'm not watching you. It's just background noise. But I love YouTube. I really do. So, and YouTube loves YouTube too, and they love the YouTube creators. So, what's happening is they gathered a they're looking to zero in, and they gathered some people. What are they zeroing in on? Comedy and late night. They're looking to do that. That is the next thing. They're zeroing in on comedy and late night. So they held their first ever creator premiere showcase, and they launched a whole slew of new titles, including a new weekly late night show and a stand-up special from Trevor Noah, who was the former Daily Show host. I love Trevor Noah. He's amazing. So this comes as YouTube is actually looking to promote a small number of creators and on-camera stars that debut their shows exclusively on YouTube. Okay. So they've done launch parties for some of their other things. And so this is coming on the heels of the launch parties for some of the other series that they have. So Sean Downey, who's the president of Google, says this. They're crowing about, well, they're crowing and all excited about YouTube actually being the #1 streamer for the last 2 years, bigger than Netflix now. This is according to Nielsen. So Nielsen's Gauge report highlighted this, that in terms of monthly viewing by platform, YouTube has a 12.6% share of the market in September, compared to Netflix's 8.3% share. Well, I mean, this is also not rocket science, because you have to pay for Netflix, right? Even if you have the ad supported tier, which I do. They discontinued the one that I had since donkey years ago. So I ended up with the, I think it's like $8 a month for the ad supported tier. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. But YouTube is free. YouTube is free. So it's not rocket science that they are the most more popular streamer, because there's so much content. They have way more content than Netflix does. Never mind they have way more content. So this just makes sense. Let's see, what say you? I don't know if you have. Oh, we do. Yeah, I love corn. Do you? I do too, but you have to be so careful with it now, And let's see. Absolutely. Look who is here. Serena Wills, the queen of food truckery and the minister of libation herself, says, blessings, everyone. It is good to see you. Oh, you're loving the hat. Thank you. Thank you. Today was a baseball hat kind of day, right? So I decided to put that on, and it is Taco Friday, folks. We've got a food truck here. We're never here on Tuesdays, but we try to be here on Fridays. So it is Taco Friday. If you have an order of the type of taco you would like, let us know, and we will provide tacos. So put your order in now. And DiCarpio says, blessings to Serena. Blessings, blessings, blessings. And if there's anybody new and you're lurking, blessings to you. Blessings to you. It is good to have you here, and we hope to have you back. Yes. By the way, next week we've been on sabbatical from Indie Soup Media because we are between seasons, but we start the fall autumn season next week, God willing. So check us out on our YouTube channel. We have lots of cool content that is amazing. You think YouTube is amazing? Indie Soup is amazing. Just saying. Hey, Dasava is also here. Hello. How are you, Dasava? It is wonderful to see you. Thank you for being here. D says, I even have my own YouTube. What? You know what? That makes sense that you do, but do you post to your YouTube channel? Do you have content? Let me know. Okay, so after this, I have to go and follow you. And you know what? This makes a lot of you are watching on YouTube, but sometimes people don't create content. They just watch content. which for the longest time, I will admit, I've had my YouTube account since 2006. So I've been on YouTube since 2006. Now, ask me, was I making content? Nope. I used it as a repository to save video. And if I had I did videos, but it was like choreography for my students. So I put it and they were like private videos for my students to go and watch and learn choreography. That was what it was. I really only started taking YouTube a little more seriously. I don't even know if it's been 5 years. I don't know if it's been 5 years, but I regularly started doing things maybe at least 4 years ago. So yeah, we'll see how that works out. Anyway, oh, and she says she does a few videos. I will follow if I'm not already. I think I may be, but I'm going to follow. Oh, and look who is here. Dr. Tawana Ross says, "Hey there, Sunshine. How are you? It is fantastic to have you in our presence." And Serena says, "Yay!" or "Yes." Can't wait for season 6 on Indie Soup Media. Yes, yes, yes. So Anthony says this: you need to focus on gamers, modern video games and old school video games, and board games like D&D to make programming focused on that demographic more. Twitch seems to have a huge handle on that group. You're correct. You are YouTube, not me, but YouTube needs to. And you know what? They do have they're trying to do gamer things. So for example, Kai Senat and also I Show Speed, if you know those two gamers, they're huge on YouTube. And so, but Twitch seems to, you're right, have the handle on that. Twitch was founded as a gaming platform, and then they just kind of morphed into other things. Like we're live on Twitch right now. Okay, I just noticed. No, we're not live on Twitch right now. So you know what? How about we solve that? Let's go live right now. Okay, I'm about to do that. Yeah. Let's see. Thank you for mentioning Twitch, because I didn't even realize we weren't live on Twitch. Now we are. All right. Sorry, Twitch. You're just seeing me right now. I somehow missed checking you off, and now we're here. All right. So let's see. If you want to follow DiCarpio, make sure you're following her and check out her videos. And this is for everyone. Let me know in the chat if you are a content creator. I would love to push what you do. We are who we have in the space. I say this all the time. You may be tired of hearing me saying it. I don't know when you thought I ever cared about that. So, I don't care. I'll say it again. We're who we have in the space. We have to support each other and push each other forward, right? I said push like 3 times. So anyway, let's keep going. We do have some more things. We have a little more time, and because I don't want to hold you all night, I do have to share this though. I went to, it's now been about 2 weeks, a fantastic concert. Some of you may have seen it on my socials. I went to go see Brian Culbertson. I absolutely adore Brian Culbertson. Now, if you don't know who he is a jazz musician, more so smooth jazz, but he does do some traditional jazz as well. He's a pianist and he plays the trombone. They came to Fort Lauderdale. What a time. What a time. And I sat next to some really cool people, and they were like, "Oh, nobody wanted to come with you?" I said, "Look, I don't have time to wait for people to decide they want to get ready. I live down the street. I just want to go and be by myself, and I have no problem meeting people if I need to." And what was really cool is after the fact is I watch on Friday nights. He usually does. I think he has a performance, so he's not doing it this Friday, but I watch his live streams every Friday night. He has something called The Hang, where he plays music and he talks with us. So if you like Brian Culbertson, check it out on Friday nights at 9 p.m. So anyway, he will meet with Hang Club members after the show. He just says in the Patreon, "Hey, everybody, just wait by the stage. I'll be out." And every performance, he comes out and takes pictures and talks to people. Now, it was amazing. Why am I putting this out there? Because this is a lesson for all of us to really dial into our community. If you're a content creator, it's not just about you making content. It is about forming community. People will follow him into a volcano because he cares. Not only does he hang out with us on Fridays, he has the nerve to hang out with us after he has played a full show and he's jumped around and he's clearly tired, but he is amazing. So be like Brian. I'm actually going to do a Be More about this and talk about the lessons I learned from the day trip tour. So in any case, Joe Balcom says, I love Brian. So happy I had a chance to see him and meet him. I got to meet him. I don't know if I have the photo here. I was probably in my phone, so I'll perhaps show you. But yes, I got to meet. In fact, let me see. I will show you. Hey, look who is here. GR. Houston Jack herself. G says, good evening to DiCarpio and DeSava. Good evening. And DeSava says, yes, waiting on people to go and do it is not, I don't have time for that. This is because I've noticed like in the past when people are like trying to make plans and, oh, let's do that. It's too much. Now I'm happy to participate in plans that others have made. What I will not do, or like they like to say here, what I'm not finna do is to make the plans and then expect people to fall in line. What fell off? My necklace fell off. Okay, I'm going to have to put that back on. I think I didn't hook that on properly. So let's see. Let me see if I can find this really quickly and I will show you. Yeah, here we go. All right. Can you all see that? I know it's a little blurry and I can't get closer, but yes, I got to take a picture with Brian Culbertson. So sweet, very nice, just the nicest person. So very cool. All right, let's see. And Anthony says, I shoot videos from the Galax Old Fiddlers Convention every year and put them on my YouTube channel. Every year, someone during the Fiddlers Convention, there's around 20 or so people who come to tell me that they are there because they've seen footage on his chat. Do you see that? He has become the ambassador for the Galax Old Fiddlers. And for people who don't know where Galax is, that is in Virginia, correct? It's Galax, Virginia. And for some reason, I'm thinking that's like Southwest Virginia. Let me know. And also, yes, sometimes you can't wait for it. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I won't. This whole thing to get it together. Hey, would you like to? That would have been a whole brouhaha. So I said, I will go by myself. I'm fine. And I'm not antisocial, not at all. But sometimes it's just easier to go by myself. I remember I was going to a conference and people were like, well, we're going to drive. It was a Delta conference. And it was were they going to Atlanta or somewhere in Alabama? Somewhere it was either Georgia or Alabama. They're like, we're going to drive. I said, I'll see you there because I'm not driving from Cuba up there. So I politely got my flight. I got a what's the name? Did I have a car? Did I rent a car? I think I did. I rented a car. I had my flight and I'm like, I am good. I got there, of course, well before that, but I was settled and fine. Meanwhile, they were in between all the stuff people had packed. Yeah, I'm not about that life. So anyway, let's keep going. And it is very cool. Yes, Southwest Virginia near the North Carolina border. Fantastic. No road tripping. Gee, you already know. I give it to you who can do the road trip because G is a G when it comes to road tripping. She will road trip all day long. Good for you. She can. Okay, so fun fact, I'm so enamored by the fact that she came to see me. So she was in Jacksonville, which is like 6 to 7 hours away from me. And she was like, I'm going to be in Jacksonville. I thought, I'm sorry, it's 6 out of 7 hours. Oh no, I'll be down there. Drove down here. Not necessarily to see me, but she drove down here. I said, wow. Because her thing is like, how can we be in the same state and I not see you? Well, good for you. because that is real. That is true friendship. I'll tell you this though: if I come to Texas and I'm going to El Paso, you probably won't see me in Dallas. But that's good. That's good. Let's see. Yeah, I did get to meet G. I met G. I've met Chris. Who else have I met? I have not met any of you all yet, but it's coming. It's coming. I know. I know. Just little by little, I get to meet some of the some of the community, which is fantastic. All right, let's see. I think I have everything. I got all the comments. We're going to keep going. Folks, if you're just joining, you are in for a treat for the rest of this. I don't know why I said that, but anyway, welcome. My name is Tachi, and you happen to be watching MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. This is me, and we are here on Fridays. I was about to say Wednesday. Oh, I almost reverted back to Wednesday, but we're here on Fridays in the 8 o'clock hour. We have lots of fun. We've even got a food truck, folks. We've got a food truck. Yes. Also, we're going to keep going. All right. So let's see where we are. Off of the creator launches and all of that and what's happening over on YouTube. So just listen, create. That's what I have to say. So off of that, and we are going to get to Roberta Flack. Now, I actually happened to see Roberta Flack in person. And it was a wonderful experience. This was about that had to be about 10 years ago. Yeah, because I was still at my former university. So about 10 years ago, I got to see Roberta Flack. It was wonderful. And may she rest well. You know, she passed away not too long ago. Was it last year she passed away? I think so. So may she rest well. Well, guess what? If you are a Roberta Flack fan, you are going to be able to view a biopic that is in the works. Let's take this down. Yes. There is a Roberta Flack biopic that is in the works from Robin Roberts, Rockin' Robin Productions. And if you don't know Robin Roberts, she is a host on Good Morning America. And so if you don't know Roberta Flack, Killing Me Softly. Okay, that you definitely should know that. So she was the first solo artist to win Record of the Year at the Grammys, starting with The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. And this is going to be the subject of a scripted feature film from Robin Roberts. So they've secured the rights to Flack's life, her life rights, and they're developing the film as well as a documentary based on her life. So they're doing a biopic and a documentary. So the biopic is scripted, obviously, and the documentary is non-scripted. So she's going to work closely with her longtime managers, Suzanne Minakoga and Joan Martin, on both projects. I think this is really cool. So let me know if you are interested in seeing this. Now, what I didn't know is that her career got a boost when Clint Eastwood used The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face on the directorial soundtrack for Play Misty for Me. I did not know that. So interesting. This is what Robin Roberts says. Roberta was a trailblazer, powerful and purposeful with her music and intention. From the first note of every song, you feel Roberta's tender heart and powerful soul through the microphone. She taught us that the softest voice can carry the deepest truth. It's an honor to help her share her remarkable life and legacy with a new generation as her music continues to move and inspire the world. Very nice. And I'm interested in seeing that. Very cool. And she also happens to be a Howard University Bison. Roberta Flack did go to Howard, HU, you know, and she was classmates with Donny Hathaway. So Howard has produced some greats. Yes. So I am honored to be in the presence and to be among the number of the many beautiful and wonderful scholars, performers, etc. that Howard has produced. All right, we've got some comments. Let's go. Okay. Anthony says, you need to come hang out with me at the International Fiddlers Convention next August. I will try and make that a reality. I will try and make that a reality. That sounds wonderful. And it sounds like something that would be cool to go live from. Definitely. And let's see. Wow. Yes, her voice is definitely iconic. She's beautiful. And Bryson is here. What's up? We got to talk about the Oh, I know you want to talk about it. Did we all see that? That they were in Singapore for, I think it was a promotional, Bryson, help me, was a promotional thing for the next iteration of Wicked. And there was a fan attack, a crazed fan attacked Ariana Grande, but Mama came back. She said, oh, no, you won't. No, you won't. Yes, Joan, you're right. She was also our soror. Yes. So Roberta Flack was also a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. You are so correct. Yes, this year. Oh, and also he got charged and his court date is on Monday. They're not playing. They're not playing at all. Interesting. And Bryson says, what's up to Gwendolyn? How are you? Welcome in. Let's see. Yes, Wicked for Good red carpet at Universal Studios in Singapore. Now, I haven't been to Singapore yet, but I will soon. That is on my list. I've heard Singapore is beautiful. The airport is bar none from what I've seen. So my sister lives next door to Singapore and Malaysia. So I probably will be there at some point soon. Fantastic. But yeah, Cynthia Erivo was like, no, you won't. And she got to them. The bodyguard should be ashamed of themselves. Cynthia Erivo, I don't know what they were doing. Were they scrolling on their phones? Were they signing autographs? Were they eating? I don't know what the bodyguards were doing, but Cynthia Erivo got there so quickly and basically through, and then the bodyguards came. It's like, you're useless now. You're not needed. Be gone. That was crazy. She was extra quick with it, Gwendolyn, very quick with it. So Bryson says Cynthia Erivo had to put mommy mode to BTA. Exactly. She went into straight mom mode. You want, not today, Satan. So that's what she did. But anyway, that is what is happening. We have like 8 minutes left. Remember, we do an hour or so. So let's see what else we could get in these 8 minutes. Oh, and it is great to see you. So for those of you who are just joining, let me welcome you in. Feel free to add any comments or questions. We talk media, tech, and pop culture news with lots of fun and foolishness on the side. We've also got a food truck. If you want some tacos, it is Taco Friday. Go ahead and order. And I'm sure we've got some nice libation specials to go with it to wash it all down. And that's made me hungry. So I think I am actually going to order tacos tonight and have some tacos tonight, because I just thought, what have I had to eat today? I had a smoothie and then I had a shoot in the house. And so this is the thing when I do a shoot. I use the same camera that I used to do this, but I have to tear it down because I'm not going through a streamer. So this is connected to my the switcher and all the stuff. So it's just a whole production, and I had to switch the lights around. It's a whole production, but I love doing it. As long as I don't have to go any place. Like, I don't mind doing it for one person. I leave my house to do production for one person, and that's Gary Lanham. I will go and shoot things from, but other people who ask, yeah, you're going to be hard pressed to get me to leave the house to shoot for you if it's not Gary. But I'm happy to do it in my studio here. Let's see. And G asks, is there time to talk about that Issey Miyake Apple product? I love Issey, but really now, this is what I don't know. I have not heard about it. I have not heard. Well, let's do it. You know what? In fact, let's see. We only have a little bit of time. So how about we switch to tech and we talk a little bit about that? Yeah, $150 for a sock. Hold on, we're gonna talk about it, because this makes a good. What the hell is this? How about that? And did I have one? No, I left it off today. So that will be our what the hell is this? Let's go ahead and we'll let's play the intro for the tech segment and then we'll get to it. Here we go. Okay, so the Issy. Oh, I did see these. All right. So, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to see if I can pull this up and then we will talk about it. So, you know what? Let's do it from design. Okay. So, and I've seen these, and why did I not realize this was Issey Miyake? So Issey Miyake is a Japanese designer. For those of you who don't know, great designer. Let's go ahead and I will show you what this looks like. So we're going to share screen. I don't know why I sang that. That's share screen. That's very Broadway. Let's do that. We're going to share the screen, and here we go. You should be able to see this. Let's get rid of that. All right. So you, my friend, come on. There we go. You see this sock thing? There we go. This is from Issey Miyake. It is an extra pocket for iPhone. Now, I don't mean any harm, but something tells me that this is something that you can make in craft class. In fact, I'm quite sure somebody has already done this. So it's an expandable extra pocket for iPhones. And they've teamed up with Apple. Now, this is not the first time Apple has teamed up with people. They've teamed up with Hermes. If you know, there is the Apple iWatch has a leather band that is an Hermes band. So they've teamed up with others before on accessories for the iPhone or for their consumer goods, shall we say. So it's a sling, they say, made of a, quote, single continuous piece of yarn, 3D knitted into a ribbed open structure that expands to fit the phone alongside other small everyday items. And here we go. Here's some more stuff. You see, they're just trying to make it look fashionable while having these cool models. Ooh, you too can be a cool model if you buy this overpriced sock. So you can get a short or long strap. It can be handheld or tied to a bag, or even worn directly on the body to offer protection. Look at that. So one single piece of 3D printed yarn. You didn't even make it yourself. You 3D printed it. You just, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Tell me what you think. So yeah, $150. Who's interested in a sock for their iPhone? If you are, I have some socks that I will gladly sell to you for $150. I'll even cut it in the same way. They're long socks. And in fact, you could probably do that. If you took a long sock and you cut it, you could, listen, don't play. I think now, but you know what? For everything, there is a thing for everyone. For everything that is sold, there is someone who is going to buy it. So somebody wants it, I guess. Here we go. Let's go back and do a couple of comments. 150 for a sock? Come on, man. That's what I say. And let's see. Yeah, $150. Absolutely. Let's see. And okay, Bryson says this is day 14 of the Disney blackout on YouTube TV. Yeah, they're at the table though, and they're trying to come to an agreement because does not make any sense for them to be black. They're missing out on YouTube. YouTube has the most people that watch on TV. Now I know they are separate. YouTube TV is separate from YouTube, but the thing is, they're the same ecosystem, and you're missing out on folks by not have there's some subscribers. I can't remember how many millions are subscribed to YouTube TV, but they've got at least 10.3, if I'm not mistaken, million people that subscribe to YouTube TV. Look, you're about to spend $1 billion more on content. Wouldn't you want? Work it out, folks. Work it out. Anyway, it is a craft. Listen, that's from craft class. This was somebody in craft class did this, and he saw it. He said, oh, I know what I can do. And I'm not hating on you because he's sitting there getting paid from this phone sock. and I'm not. So it is a craft class creation. All right. And G says, as a tech person, this tells me that there's a lack of dreamers in the room. They are dreaming, but this isn't it. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Have we really come to that point where we lack imagination that this is the very best we could do? Is this the best that we can do for society? Now, I would be okay if he made these and this was an exhibit in the Met or MoMA. I would be okay with that. A whole bunch of these on a wall. I would be fine with that. Because then it also has utility, but it's also art. I would be okay with it. But now it takes on a certain, I don't want to say cheapness, but it cheapens it that you've commodified this. You would get people to pay $150 and they wouldn't complain if it was also something that was in MoMA or somewhere else. And now you are selling. I could see that. See, we have to be smart about it. If you're going to sell rubbish, let's be smart about it. How about that? So, and Anthony says, and those socks look like something that I've seen at the church bazaar. You're right. Rummage sale. You are correct. I'm sure a lady would sell those for a church women's group or something. Listen, Hattie Mae, you may want to get your knitting needles out and get to work. And I wouldn't be mad if they did, because $150 is ridiculous. It just is. And guess what? I'm sure that idea came from somewhere. I'm not saying he didn't come up with it, but he was inspired by this somewhere. I'm just saying. And G says, we are at a standstill, especially since they're bringing back Gremlins. Raise your hand if you think we need another Gremlins, please. Raise your hand. I'll allow it. Raise your hand. Hold on. I'm slipping. Let me, there we go. Okay. Raise your hand. I personally do not. Bryson said, wait, the AMAC box is in MoMA, but it's not overpriced. Okay. What is the AMAC? I'm not sure what the AMAC box is. Let me know. And Bryson says, that's exactly what I was just saying. Just got to update that for Gwendolyn. Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah, we're lacking imagination, but you all don't lack imagination, because I've seen some of the things you all do and it's fantastic. So there is hope. Even if the mainstream is hopeless, we, the independents, at least have some hope. So you know what? We are at an hour. And so thank you, Gwendolyn, for letting that be our tech thing today. That was fantastic. Why am I okay? I don't know. I'm just looking at the vertical and it's doing something interesting. So Gremlins, nah, not really. I saw the first one. I have no desire to see any other Gremlins. What else can you do? We know who you are. We know. Okay. But you know what? Let me be quiet. It could end up being a smash hit. And good for you if it is. Okay. Well, the MUC box is a box that is used for a number of items, including storing Beanie Babies back in the day. Hold on a minute, guys. I didn't know that. You must have been a Beanie Baby collector. Were you? Let me know. Did any of you guys collect Beanie Babies? I never did. All right. Well, that little thing lets me know that my time is quickly approaching to an end, since I've been talking for an hour now. And okay, so now this just in, they reached a new deal with YouTube, ending the blackout. Fantastic, because as of the time I went on air, I did not see that. So this must be a new development. Thank you, Bryson, for bringing that breaking news. They've reached a deal to end the blackout. And she said, no, I sold many AMAC boxes. It was hard. It was hard times back then. I feel you. Wow. Yeah, there was a blackout of Disney content on YouTube TV, and they could not agree to a carriage deal. And so it wasn't there. So now, 14 days in, apparently, according to Bryson, they've reached some type of agreement. So we'll see tomorrow what the details of that are. Folks, I love you exponentially. You make my Friday nights worth Friday nighting. Thank you so very much. It is amazing. I have some other stories, but we're not going to go into them. What I do is I'll post some of these in my feed. You can look here on YouTube. You can look on my Instagram. You can look on Facebook, and you'll see some of these other wonderful stories that are happening in media, tech, and pop culture. But that's it, folks. Thank you so much for being here. Honestly, again, it's because of you that I do this, and I love you exponentially. And with that, folks, we are going to end the way we always do. I love you for watching. I bid you adieu. You guys, myself, and all this news, we are actually going to exit stage left. And guess what? We'll be back next week, if God is willing and the creek doesn't rise. All right, guys, until next week, cheers.
Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities. Here we offer you. We gon' show you on your way. The content it never stays. More positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope gifted. Is it fake?